Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 27th of October 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affair. So watch this video till last. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, you can log in with the email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affair section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low, but we are covering that current affair which can come in every type of exam. This is the genuinity, this is the hard work of Affairs Cloud team. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily section, you will see three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Most important section is the monthly, and we are providing four type of PDFs. One is detail, second is question and answer format, third is the best 100 current affair that is also provided in the form of question and answer, and the pocket PDF. It means the 2-liner and the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise these current affairs in very convenient way. Next, we are also providing 20 most important topic wise PDF, and we are providing these PDFs to revise one particular topic. It means one particular topic related all the news you can get from single PDF. And if you're a banking student, we are also providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, third is the quiz section, and all these three things are only related to banking and economy. But you can attempt this quiz on our application on monthly basis. And if you want to revise all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing detailed budget and economic survey. Also, we are providing expected question and answer so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. If you are appearing for your respective state exam, we are also providing you state current affairs, and it will definitely enhance your performance in the state exams. So all these things comes under only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID, then click on this Crack Current Affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low, but the most important thing, if you're a new student, you're just starting your preparation, then I am advising you to subscribe for 2 years. And you will get 10% extra discount on both subscriptions if you use this code ASH10. If you have any query, you can call us or you can email us on this email ID or this number. So let's start today's current affair, 27th of October 2021. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And one thing more, you can join our Telegram channel for the official notification. And here is the first question in the most important section. India and which country participated in the maiden, it means the first joint tri-service exercise, which is known as Konkan Shakti 2021. The keyword here is Konkan Shakti 2021, and answer of this question is United Kingdom. So the maiden India and UK tri-service exercise Konkan Shakti 2021 commenced off the Konkan coast in the Arabian Sea. And I think many students don't know about the Konkan coast. Konkan coast is basically the part of Goa. Like you can say from Mumbai to Goa, this part, this coastal area is known as the Konkan coast. So you can also remember. And this lies in the Arabian Sea. So that's why this exercise named is Konkan Shakti. And it aims to derive mutual benefits from each other's experiences. And all the participating units, like you can say all the tri-services, which are participating were split into the two opposing forces with the aim of achieving sea control to land army group, you can say grounded troops at a pre-designed site. And the exercise focused on multiple areas including enhancing aspects of the interoperability and exchange of the best practices. And you can remember there are three more exercises between India and United Kingdom. One is like Air Force exercise. You can remember this is between the air forces of two countries, and this exercise is known as Indradhanush. And by the name Indradhanush, you can remember it is Air Force exercise. And next is recently happened, it is a military exercise, and this is known as Ajay Warrior. And this exercise in between India and United Kingdom, and it is a military exercise. And one is only Konkan exercise. It is a Navy exercise. So Konkan Shakti is a tri-service exercise. So you can remember this. So remember all the exercises between India and United Kingdom, and this Konkan Shakti is a tri-service exercise, and it happened in Arabian Sea in the Konkan coast area from Mumbai to Goa. This coastal area is known as Konkan coast. So you can see here India and United Kingdom take part in the maiden bilateral tri-service exercise which is known as Konkan Shakti 2021. Next, we are moving to the most important question again. What is the name of the movie which has been selected as the India's official entry for the 94th Academy Awards, which is also known as the Oscars 2022? So this is the most important question, and this will come 100% in every exam. That's why this is the most important question. And this movie is Koos Hangal. So answer of this question is C. And in English, you can say it is known as Pebbles. Pebbles. So you can also remember the English name. So it is a Tamil film basically. You can remember it is a Tamil film titled as Koos Hangal or the Pebbles. It is directed by filmmaker Vinod Raj. Vinod Raj. PS. This is the full name of the director. Examiner can ask the director name. So Vinod Raj PS is the director, and it is produced by Roddy Pictures of very famous producers. One is Vignesh Shivan, and the second is Nayanthara. So you can remember. So this Roddy Pictures of Vignesh Shivan and Nayanthara produced this picture, and Vinod Raj PS directed this movie. And this movie has been selected as the India's official entry for the 94th Academy Awards, which is known as Oscars 2022. And if this movie is basically selected, then it means the film or this movie will compete under the Best International Feature Film. Best International Feature Film category. So in this category, this film or this movie will compete. And the film has won the Tiger Award recently for the best film at 50th International Film Festival of Rotterdam 2021, and also was screened at the Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles. This is again very important. And 94th Academy Awards of Oscar 2022 is set to be held on 27th of March in 2022 in Los Angeles, United States of America. So very important awards, and every examiner is basically covering this type of Oscar every year. So that's why this is most important. So India's official entry is Koos Hangal, and its international name is Pebbles, and it is directed by Vinod Raj PS, and it is a Tamil movie. So you can also see here the cover page of this, you can say, movie Koos Hangal or the Pebbles. So it is the India's official entry for the Oscars. So moving to our very important question section, but first of all, I am requesting you again, all the students, you have to like this video. Every student who is watching this video, please like this video. Please share this video at least to your one favorite friend, and subscribe before proceeding or before seeing the next question. And join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. How many states will be covered under Prime Minister Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission? This mission recently started by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and it is started from Varanasi. It is started from Varanasi, from Uttar Pradesh. You can also remember that it is started from Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. And this is a part of efforts to achieve holistic health care. This is affordable and accessible to all. And the main focus states will be 10. Otherwise, this scheme or this infrastructure mission will be implemented on pan-India basis. But the main focus states will be 10. So answer of this question is A. So you can see here, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched Prime Minister Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission. Now, what will they do under this infrastructure mission? So it is to strengthen the critical healthcare network from village to national level in the next 4 to 5 years, and they will provide like infrastructure of 17,788. You have to remember exact number, especially you can say the state PSC students. And they will develop this rural health and wellness centers in the 10 high focus states. I already told you, otherwise this scheme will be implemented all over India, but the main focus states will be 10. And this mission is a part of the efforts to achieve holistic healthcare that is affordable and accessible to all. And under this, health and wellness centers are being opened in village and cities where there will be facilities for early detection of diseases, because facilities like free medical consultation, free test, free medicine will be available in these centers, so that health infrastructure can be improved and diseases can be, you can say, detected in the early stages. So this is the criteria. So you have to remember, What is the name of this scheme? And it is launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. It is launched from Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. This can be asked that it is launched from which place? So it is launched from Varanasi. And you all know that UP in 2022 there is election in Uttar Pradesh, and you can also remember about UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath ji. Every student know this, and Governor is Anandiben Patel. Very important national park is there. Dudhwa National Park. Pilibhit Tiger Reserve is also there. Pilibhit Tiger Reserve. So this is again very important. Next is Indigo, and which bank entered into a strategic partnership for the launch of a co-branded credit card named as Ka Ching. So you have to remember this keyword. Ka Ching, this is name of the credit card, co-branded credit card, which is launched by one airline company named as Indigo, and name of the bank is Kotak Mahindra Bank. So by the name of the airline company, you can guess that this credit card will provide rewards related to the travel, and it should be international or it should be domestic. And the credit card was launched under the Indigo's 6E rewards program and linked with it to enable the members to earn rewards by using the card on Indigo and the other merchants. And the co-branded card will be available in the two variants, like you can see here. This is the one variant, like 6E rewards XL, and one variant is only 6E rewards. It means you can get maximum rewards in the XL category, and in simple card you will get some less rewards. And they will provide like exclusive travel benefits for the domestic and the international travel. Just remember this keyword, it is Ka Ching. Ka Ching. And it is Kotak Mahindra Bank and Indigo. So remember about Kotak Mahindra Bank, it was established in 2003 and its headquarters is in Mumbai, and its MD and CEO is Uday Kotak. Its tagline is "Let's make money simple." Let's make money simple. So now, next question is small and medium businesses neobank FlowBiz. So this is the name of the neobank, and it is for the small and medium businesses. Announced whom as the brand ambassador for its flagship product, which is My Bill Book. It means for My Bill Book, this small, or you can say neobank, appointed one brand ambassador, and name of this brand ambassador is Manoj Bajpayee. Very versatile actor. You can see here the picture of Manoj Bajpayee. So the main objective is to accelerate its outreach to the small and medium businesses sector and to promote the adoption of My Bill Book. Adoption of My Bill Book is simple to use goods and services tax or GST billing and accounting software. So remember My Bill Book, and it is a software for GST. Remember, software for GST registered businesses, where invoicing is one of the core business activities, and it provides a secure platform for the small and medium businesses owners to record transactions, track businesses performance, and will support them to run their operations from anywhere and anytime on both mobile and desktop. So you have to remember the main name of the product is My Bill Book, and it is launched by FlowBiz. So FlowBiz appointed Manoj Bajpayee to promote its product My Bill Book, and this is for the GST invoices and to record the transactions. So remember about Manoj Bajpayee here. So he will promote the business ko le seriously campaign to mark the importance of digital solutions, especially the GST solutions. And FlowBiz will release advertisement film featuring Manoj Bajpayee as a businessman. So you can just get the name, and it is important. Which state launched a scheme to provide electric two-wheelers at subsidized rate to the worker? So that two benefits will be provided. One is you can say good mobility. Second is pollution-free environment. Pollution-free environment. Even decarbonize. We can decarbonize the environment. And this state is Gujarat. So answer of this question is B. So Gujarat Chief Minister, basically you can say new Chief Minister Bhupender Patel, launched a scheme to provide electric two-wheelers at subsidized rates to construction and the industrial workers of the state. So this is only for the industrial workers, and second it is for the construction workers. So only two type of workers can avail this type of subsidized two-wheeler. So you can see here Chief Minister Bhupender Patel launched this scheme to provide subsidized e-vehicles, and name of this scheme is Go Green. Go Green. You can see here he launched this Go Green scheme aimed at reducing fuel bills and also curbs vehicle pollution. So two benefits will be provided. And the organized sector workers such as the industrial laborer. So first of all you have to remember it is for the industrial laborer, and they will get the 30% subsidy, or you can say maximum to maximum 30,000 rupees for purchase of a two-wheeler which is battery operated. And if it is a construction worker, then they will provide 50% of the subsidy or maximum of 30,000 rupees if they are purchasing the two-wheeler which is battery operated. But initially the state government provide battery powered two-wheelers to 1,000 construction workers and 2,000 industrial workers. It means 2,000 two-wheelers will be provided to the industrial laborers and 1,000 selected for the constructional sector. And only government approved and the locally produced vehicles will be considered eligible for the scheme, so that Gujarat will become this self-reliant in the e-mobility. So this is the scheme and this is Gujarat, and you have to remember one important thing, that Gujarat Chief Minister, new Chief Minister is Bhupender Patel, and you can also remember very important national park is there. Very important national park, like you can say Gir National Park is there, very important, and Vansada National Park is there, Vansada. There is Black Buck National Park, and Marine National Park, Marine National Park. Don't confuse it with Mahatma Gandhi Marine National Park. Mahatma Gandhi Marine National Park is in Andaman and Nicobar. So you can also remember. Next is Union Minister Nitin Gadkari ji launches knowledge application and platform which is known as Consult. So you have to remember exact the words like CUNSULT. It is known as Consult. So Union Minister Nitin Jairam Gadkari ji, who is currently the Union Minister of Road Transport and Highways, attended the launch event of Consult application, which is a knowledge sharing platform, and it was basically launched by main person Raghav Chandra. Raghav Chandra. I think many students know about this person, Raghav Chandra, who retired as the secretary under the government of India, but he is currently the chairman of National Highway Authority of India. National Highway Authority of India. And what about this application? And each expert gets a unique exclusive page reflecting their contribution by the way of articles and video blog. It means if you want to consult something you can see here, it is a first global facility for the people who need information like any advice, any counseling, any guidance can contact and call up experts in the 65 sectors. And in the next phase, they will add more sectors under this platform. And it is premised upon the framework of connecting knowledge seekers and the knowledge givers. It means if I want to know something, if I want to consult something, then I have to go to this application or this web portal, then I can discuss with the experts. And it means I will connect to the knowledge givers. So this is a good idea, and that's why the name of this application and the platform is Consult. So very simple, and you can also remember Nitin Gadkari, constituency is Nagpur, Maharashtra. Next is phase 2 of Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship launched for how much time period? So phase 2 is basically launched for the year of 2021 to 23. So that's why answer of this question is 2 years. So Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, who is currently also the Union Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and also the, you can say, Minister of Education, Shiksha Mantri or Education. So he launched the second phase of the Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship for 2 years, like 2021-23. So it is a 2-year fellowship, to create opportunities for the youth and enhance skill development at the grassroots level along with the academic partner IIM. So very important organization, even one of the top institutions all over India. So it is Indian institution or Indian Institute of Management, to conduct class sessions at the district level with vast experience in the field. So fellowship aims to identify barriers to and create credible plans to increase employment, especially to create employment, economic output, and promote livelihood, including global thinking and integrated local language in the skill development efforts. So you have to remember, this is Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship Program, and this is an opportunity for the young women and the men within the age group of 21 to 30 years who already possesses some level of academic or professional expertise for providing catalytic support to the district administration to improve the skill development program delivery. And the fellowship will receive almost stipend of rupees 50,000 in the first year and 60,000 in the second year. So this will be the stipend given by the government. So that's why it is known as the fellowship program. So it is Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship Program. Two things important: age group will be in between 21 to 30 and stipend of rupees 50,000 per year in the first year and 60,000 in the second year. So this is important. Next is HDFC Limited and which payment bank made a strategic partnership to offer home loans? It means HDFC Limited will provide the home loans, but they will target the customers of this payment bank, and name of this payment bank is India Post Payment Bank. So answer of this question is D. So HDFC Limited and India Post Payment Bank made a strategic partnership to offer HDFC Limited home loans, and it will provide 4.7 crore customers to India Post Payment Bank through its wide network of 650 branches and over 1.36 lakh banking access points. It means the customer base will be provided by this India Post Payment Bank, but the loan activities will be provided by HDFC Limited. So the main objective is to promote affordable housing in the remotest locations of India or the rural area of India. And under this partnership, India Post Payment Bank will offer home loans for the customers in unbanked and underserved areas through nearly 1,90,000 banking service provider, including Postman and the Gramin Dak Sevak. And HDFC Limited will handle the credit. It means all the money will be provided by HDFC Bank, technical and the legal appraisals, processing, disbursement of home loans, whereas Indian Post Payment Bank will be responsible for sourcing of loans. So this is important. And Indian Post Payment Bank is important because it was established in 2018 under the Department of Post, Ministry of Communication, and its headquarters is in New Delhi. Its MD and CEO is J. Venkata Ramu. And its tagline is Aapka Bank, Aapke Dwar. You can see here India Post Payment Bank and HDFC Limited partner for the home loans. Next, Comptroller and Auditor General of India and Auditor General of which country signed MOU to strengthen the audit process of the public finance. So you all know that Comptroller and Auditor General of India is currently GC Murmu, or you can say Girish Chandra Murmu, and he signed an agreement with the Auditor General of which country so that they can strengthen the audit process of public finance in both countries. And answer of this question is Maldives. D is the answer. So the MOU aims at enhancing information in the field of public sector audit between the two countries like India and Maldives. And both sides will develop and strengthen the respective institution professional capacity and improve methodology in the field of audit in the public finance. So it means we can learn from the Maldives audit process and they can learn from the audit process of India. So that's why this is the MOU was signed. And there will be training programs in their respective countries for their staff on a need basis. Even sustainable development is the partnership between the two supreme audit institutions. So sustainable development is main goal, and from Indian side it is signed by Girish Chandra Murmuji. So remember, it is Maldives. Moving to next question, you can see here the picture of GC Murmu, who was earlier the lieutenant or the lieutenant governor of Jammu and Kashmir, but now it is Manoj Kumar Sinha. Next, which insurance company launched a solution named BeFit? Remember this keyword, to provide benefits of OPD or outpatient department services in a cashless manner. It means if you want to use the OPD services, then you don't have to pay any cash. You have to just buy this insurance policy. Then you can do all these OPD services through cashless manner. And name of this program is BeFit, and you can assess this BeFit program from the application of this insurance company, and name of this insurance company is ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company. So ICICI Lombard General Insurance has launched a solution named BeFit to provide benefits of outpatient department services to its customers in a cashless manner. So the OPD services include like doctor consultation, pharmacy and diagnostics, and physiotherapy sessions. So all these things comes under the OPD services. And BeFit was serviced by the ICICI Lombard through its application, which is known as I Will Take Care. I Will Take Care application. So this is ICICI Lombard General Insurance application. And under this BeFit solution, medicine will be delivered in the home within 60 minutes. Even lab test both at home and the center visit also provided. And it has also offered 24/7 consultation, like tele and the virtual consultation by panel of doctors. So these type of things are provided through this BeFit insurance policy. And it provides cashless and the contactless solution to customers wanting to stay fit and address their medical problems. So remember about ICICI Lombard if you want, otherwise it is not important. In 2001 it was established, its headquarters is in Mumbai, and its CEO is Bhargav Das Gupta. He is currently the Chief Executive Officer. So you can also see here ICICI Lombard General Insurance launched BeFit cashless OPD and a wellness combination to customers. Next, Union Minister of Power and New and Renewable Energy R.K. Singh or Rajkumar Singh launched Green Day Ahead Market. This is very important because India is the only large electricity market in the world to implement this Green Day Ahead Market in the renewable energy. And main objective is to reduce the dependency on imported sources of the fossil fuel, because we are importing so much fossil fuel. So that's why we want to reduce the dependency on imported sources of fossil fuel. And the day ahead market facilitate the trading of power a day before. So remember, this is trading of power. It means we can sign public private agreements through this green day ahead market. So we have two exchanges for the power, like one is known as PXIL. PXIL stands for Power Exchange India Limited, and second is IEX. IEX stands for India Energy Exchange. Through these exchanges, we can sign an agreement with the other company and we can purchase the power through renewable energy resources. So that's why we can also cover the target of 450 gigawatt, which we have to achieve by the year of 2030. And all these 450 gigawatt should be from renewable energy resources. And we can do this with the help of the other companies, like private companies. So that's why this market is launched, Green Day Ahead Market. And we can trade energy through these two exchanges, which are Indian exchanges. So you can see here, it is for the renewable energy specially, and it is to enable the electricity generation and distribution companies to trade renewable energy in the day ahead market. And under this trading, who are the sellers? Sellers are like, you can say, power generating stations. And who are the buyers? Buyers like power dis companies, you can say industrials, commercial consumers who are basically consuming the power so much in the large units. So that's why they are basically buyers. So sellers and buyers can attach through this exchange, which is known as PXIL exchange, which is Power Exchange India Limited, and second is Indian Energy Exchange, IEX. And remember, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy comes under Rajkumar Singh ji. And what is the name of the constituency of Rajkumar Singh? It is Ara. Ara is in Bihar. And Ara is very important place in 1857 revolt. And who was the leader in Ara? Leader was Kunwar Singh. Kunwar Singh. You can remember, leader was Kunwar Singh at the time of 1857 revolt in Ara. Now we are moving to the important question section, but you have to like this video. I am requesting all the students who are watching this video, please like this video. Please share this video. Please subscribe this channel now and join a Telegram group from the official notifications. Next is, which country plan to launch standardized guidelines for the renewable energy certificate? Renewable energy certificates. This is very important. So again, you can trade the renewable energy, and some standardized guidelines are basically issued by Singapore. So answer of this question is C. So Singapore plans to launch standardized guidelines for the renewable energy certificates in an effort to decarbonize its power sector and develop a regional grid. And it also supports deployment of renewable energy in Singapore to develop regional grid which taps different types of low carbon energy sources in the region. It means they will invent more type of renewable energy sources. And this is the first of its kind Southeast Asia country which defines the types of renewable energy sources, such as you can say solar, wind, biomass, that are eligible to generate renewable energy centers or renewable energy certificates. And the certificates are market based instruments. It means you can trade where their prices are determined by the market demand contained between the minimum price and the maximum price specified by the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. So you have to remember, these certificates can be traded. It means it can be sell or buy, and their prices are basically determined by the market demand contained between the minimum value and maximum value. So it cannot be minimum like you can suppose like minimum value is 100 and maximum value is 100, 200, and it can be lowered to the value of 100. It cannot be maximized till the value of 200. So you can remember this. And one certificate represents 1 megawatt hour. One certificate represents 1 megawatt hour of electricity generated from renewable energy source and delivered to the grid. So this is the certificate value. So this is Singapore. You have to remember the name of the country who launched standards for renewable energy certificates. Next is, who published State of the Climate in Asia 2020 report. Again, it is very important, and this is related to climate. So that's why this is published by World Meteorological Organization. So this is you can say one of the very important organization, and according to this state of climate in Asia 2020, a first of its kind multi-agency report published by World Meteorological Organization, India has suffered an average of annual loss of around 87 billion USD. This is huge. 87 billion USD due to tropical cyclones, which were like more in 2020, like floods, droughts. So these type of the natural disaster cost 87 billion USD loss for India. Even China experienced the highest average annual loss of around 238 billion. This is again very much huge USD, followed by India and Japan. The report provides an overview of the land and the ocean temperatures, precipitations, glacier retreat, shrinking sea ice, sea level rise, and severe weather. So these type of the natural disaster cost this much of amount to every country, like India 87 billion USD loss and China 238 billion USD. So this report is published by World Meteorological Organization. And WMO is intergovernmental organization with a membership of how many countries? 193 member countries and the states. And who is the where is the headquarter? Headquarter is in Geneva, and Secretary General is Petri. If you want to remember, you can. Otherwise, it is not important. You can also see here India lost 87 billion due to natural disasters last year, according to World Meteorological Organization. Next is Global Media and Information Literacy Week. It is celebrated on 24th to 31st of October 2021. So it is to review and celebrate the progress made towards media and information literacy for all. So this is the 10th anniversary, or you can say we are celebrating 10th time this Global Media and Information Literacy Week. And this event is basically hosted by South Africa, and co-organized by UNICEF and UNESCO. UNICEF and UNESCO. The main organization is UNESCO. And the theme of this week is Media and Information Literacy for the Public Good. Next is one-liner important point. South Korea's former president Roh Tae-woo passed away. Only one question can be asked from this line, that this Roh Tae-woo passed away recently, and he was former president of which country? So you have to remember, he was former president of South Korea, and he played an important role in the transition of the democratic elections in the South Korea, and he served as the president of South Korea from 1988 to 1993. Next, Vigilance Awareness Week 2021 observed on 26th of October to 1st of November, and it marks the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, which falls on the 31st of October under this week, you can say. And the Central Vigilance Commission, CVC, has decided to observe this Vigilance Awareness Week 2021 from 26th of October to 1st of November to promote integrity, transparency and accountability among us public servants and create awareness about the existence, causes and the gravity of the corruption. And you can also see this image, and you can guess this is the theme. Independent India at the rate 75, self-reliance with integrity. Self-reliance with integrity. And you can remember who is the Chief Vigilance Commissioner. It is Suresh N. Patel. Suresh N. Patel. Next is Shavkat Mirziyoyev won second term as the president of Uzbekistan. So he is currently the incumbent president of Uzbekistan, and he is selected for the second 5-year term as the president of Uzbekistan. And even remember this line, like total votes cast like 80.8%. but he received 80.1%. This is huge votes. Total votes cast 80.8%, but he received 80.1%. This is a huge, you can say, a mandate by the public of the Uzbekistan. So he is a member of the Uzbekistan Liberal Democratic Party. Liberal Democratic Party. So remember about Uzbekistan, capital is Tashkent and currency is Uzbekistani Som. Next, ICICI Bank overtook Hindustan Unilever Limited in market capitalization to become 5th most valued company of India. So it is very important because the shares are now increased like 10.8% shares price increased, and it becomes the 5th most valued market capitalization company all over India. And in the banking category, it is the second because first is HDFC. Next, government and the Tata Sons signed 18,000 crore share purchase agreement for Air India. We covered this news so many times. And last one is Tignopteris corona, new beetle species named after coronavirus. So museum scientists from the Indonesia and Germany have discovered 28 new beetle species. You can say from the Indonesian island of Sulawesi. One of the new beetle species has been named Trigonopterus corona, which reflects the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic on this project. So remember this, it is a beetle species. Next, we are moving to the question of the day. What was the question of 26th of October 2021? Question was very simple. Which of the following separates the Africa from Europe? If you see this map, this is Africa, you can say. This is Europe. This is Asia. So between Africa and Asia, there is a sea which is known as, this is known as Red Sea. This is known as Red Sea. And this is known as Mediterranean Sea. So if examiner is asking about which sea separates Africa and Asia, then answer of this question is Red Sea. But we are asking which sea separates Africa and Europe. So you can see Africa and Europe is separated by Mediterranean Sea. So answer of this question is Mediterranean Sea. And you can also see a Red Sea, we already covered. You can also see Suez Canal. This is the Suez Canal. This is Suez Canal, and it basically joining Red Sea and Mediterranean Sea. So you can also answer that it is in between Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea, near Egypt, you can say. Next is the question of the day. Very simple question. Which country is the smallest in the area in the African continent? So first of all, we will cover African continent main questions. Then we will shift to the another continent. So again, answer is from the African continent. So you have to tell me smallest in area wise, not population wise. Area wise is important. Population wise is not important. So tell me answer in the comment box. I am waiting your answer. Please like this video. Please share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And you can join a Telegram group, and also you have to press this bell button if you want to receive official notifications. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. But don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy like this smiley. Thank you guys. Take care and bye bye.